in TechWomen since before it was even a program, when it was still just an idea. Since 2001, she has designed and managed successful mentoring programs across the globe, even founded a company, Mentoring Standard, to make mentors shine. I should also add, Katy, I don't think you can even count the number of people across the globe that you have mentored. We really can learn from you on that. And you've traveled on now, 11 delegation trips. She knows better than any of us the power of this global network and how to put it to use. And so I'd love to welcome up to hear from Katy Dickinson.
Good evening. So this is a networking party, and we've heard the word networking over and over, and I'm going to assume that you all know networking 101. You know basic networking. You know, look the person in the eye when you shake their hand, get that business card, give them your business card, and within 24 hours, send them something in email or social media and follow up. That's 101. Yeah. And we're going to go beyond that. We're going to go to, dare I say, 201. Advanced networking. One of the things I heard this afternoon was your network is your net worth.
Yep.
And that ties networking to commerce. And I wouldn't say that that's, I mean, it's true, but networking is a work of the heart. It's a work of community. And TechWomen, the community is the heart of TechWomen. We're moving beyond the basic to a way of life, a way of communicating all your life to people who will be part of your life from now on, if you're lucky. I'm going to tell you something that I used to tell the people who wanted to be distinguished engineers at Sun Microsystems, which was a company that developed Java and helped build the internet, and where I worked for 26 years. And it's not who you know. You've heard this. It's who you know. That's a saying that locks people out. It's who knows you. Who knows you, who trusts you, who values you, who sees you as a go-to person for a subject or a kind of work. It's who knows you. And that's the real result of networking. That's what you're looking for more people to know you and to value your work. As Jillian said, I've been on 11 TechWomen delegations. It's my second time in Sierra Leone. And I know there's many ways of having community and many ways of networking. So I'm going to give you an idea of what I mean by networking. So when I was working for Sun Microsystems for the last 15 years, I worked for Dr. Greg Papadopoulos, who was the Chief Technology Officer and an MIT professor and my mentor. And he believed in women in technology very deeply. He got the seed funding to start the Anita Borg Institute while Anita Borg was still alive. He got the seed funding to start the Grace Hopper Conference, the largest technical women's conference in the world, which tops out at 15,000 every year, and it sells out in 24 hours. And he did the seed funding for that. He was on the board of trustees for many years, but Greg's a busy guy. He couldn't be on the board of trustees forever, so he asked me to join the Anita Borg Institute Board of Advisors. I was on the Board of Advisors for 10 years. Why did he ask me that? Because we trusted each other, and he knew that I could represent his values and that I cared about women in technology possibly almost as much as he did. When Sun was bought out by Oracle, we had a whole year in which Oracle kept saying, any day now, we'll give you a decision any day now. It was a year, and during that year, being a stats person, I went and collected data, and I wrote a technical report on Sun mentoring 1996 to 2009, which is the only technical report in the world which gives longevity data on an American corporation pulled from its HR database. And then when Sun died, finally, I went to work for another company. I was at a technical conference by the at which I was talking to Telly Whitney, who was the president of the Anita Borg Institute after Anita died, and she asked me, we've been hearing you talk about networking, we've been hearing you talk about mentoring for 10 years. We've been contacted by the Institute for International Education about this new program that Secretary Clinton wants to start. And we want you to go in on the bid with us. Because instead of cribbing from your technical report, we just want you on the team. Well, I was working full-time as a director for a different corporation, so I worked full-time in another full-time job for 1.5 years, creating TechWomen. And I worked with Sheila Casey, who is an amazing person at the State Department and one of the mothers of TechWomen, with Heather Ramsey and Trish Tierney, who at IIE created TechWomen. And TechWomen was born. And I fell in love with my own program, and I joined as a mentor. So I've been a mentor every year since it was created. And in 2014, when Sierra Leone was added, I met Terry Kansari. Now, if you've ever met Terry Kansari, you know that she talks a lot about Families Without Borders and how much she loves the students in McKinney, whom she calls her children, and 3 of them are here tonight. And she talked and talked, and she won my heart both as a person and as a leader for Sierra Leone. And in 2017, she talked my daughter Jessica and I into coming to visit. And one of the things that came out of that was our proposal. The 3 of us wrote a proposal to IIE that there be a delegation to Sierra Leone, because there'd never been one to West Africa. And we spent weeks or months researching, where could we stay, what could we do, what's the phone number for the person who could set this up, is this really a startup or is this just somebody's pipe dream? We did all this research, we did this proposal. I have no idea how the decision process is made, but somehow we're here. And that's partially because of networking. Because I knew Greg knew ABI, I met Telly, I worked with Telly for 10 years, I met the ladies from Sierra Leone, I met Terry. We kept building a community, building, and it's not who you know, it's who knows you. You create a value, you create a virtuous cycle of behavior that's tied to your community, that's tied to your network. So I want not just for you to hear from me, but also from Mimi Hills. Mimi Hills and I have known each other since Sun Microsystems, and she was one of the people whose arms I twisted in 2010, 2011 to say, hey, if you liked my mentoring program at Sun, you're gonna love this. I know you don't know anything about it. I know this is something to do with the Middle East and Africa and really what is this all about? And yet she's still here. She's on this delegation. Mimi, can you tell us why you're still here?
So it's true that Katy and I have known each other for more years than we are supposed to admit to on our resumes. And I have been part of her mentoring programs, and I have borrowed from them for my own mentoring programs. And when Katy called me up and said, Mimi, you want to do this, I believed her. And it was true. So I got involved in the first selection process for TechWomen. And when I had my doubts about whether I would be a good mentor, she said, Mimi, you want to do this. And I was a mentor. So it's very meaningful to me that year after year I get to participate in this amazing program and work and get to know women who I never would have had the opportunity to get to know, and learn so much about their countries, about their work, about what's important to them, and to be able to support them as well. That is work that is meaningful to me, and I owe a debt of gratitude to Katy for pulling me in.
Thank you, Mimi. So, what is it that you've learned from my talk? It's not who knows not who you know.
It's who knows you.
It's who knows you. That means you need to create value. And when we work with our mentees and they go home and they start their startups and they fail because that's what startups do, and then they start another one where they go to grad school. I have 4 of my mentees in grad school right now. Our network is there for them. They call us. Can you write me another letter of recommendation? I'm applying again for a grant. Can you talk to this person? They need me to interview with somebody, and I don't know anybody who's got as good a title as you've got, right? We are a network to die for, but we're also a community of women who love each other and who love our mentees and who love all of the good that they do in the world. So networking isn't just shaking hands or taking a business card. It's creating a community of love.
Thank you, Katy.